We want a clear head, and those during those times where this is part two to the recording, but we want a clear head, and the only time that we are able to clear our heads is if we're really, really, really at a place in our lives where we just under all circumstances want the line to be clear. And I believe that God honors that. When you place yourself in a position of humility, even if you feel as though you didn't do anything wrong or you didn't say anything wrong, but apparently you did something to trigger that individual in some kind of way. It may not have been your intent, but it was certainly something that you said or you've done to cause that person to react the way that they did. And then I also realized that some people, they act and say things out of their own insecurities, out of their own lack of confidence for themselves. And it really doesn't have anything to do with you. It's all to do with them and the way that they feel. And like if I'm insecure about my eyes, and I say my eyes too small, and somebody take a picture of me and zoom in on my eyes and then show the world my eyes, and I'm like, what's wrong with you, da 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 da, my eyes. So it's really not their issue. It's not the fact that they took the picture of my eyes. It's me already insecure about the fact that I have these small eyes. So I realized that, but at the end of the day, again, to clear the space, you have to get to a point where you're secure in your own self, because everybody's not going to accept your apology. You know what I mean? Everyone's not going to accept your apology just because you called them to apologize. Everyone is not going to be open to conversation just because you feel like it's the time to talk about it. Everyone is not going to get a revelation out of the ability to stay humble. Everybody's not going to get that. But when you apologize and when your efforts is to resolve conflict resolution is what they call it, and you do your part, trust me, God will intervene and everything around you will make sense. You have to be able to clear the air. If you have a problem with someone, call them. If you did something or you feel like they've done something to you, call them. Open up the opportunity to have that conversation. If they're not ready, it's okay. Wait until they are ready. Wait until, what I'm saying, that there's an appropriate time for you to do it and for you to have that conversation. And I'm realizing that time may not even ever come. Some people like to hold grudges, but you individually, to clear your heart and clear your mind, make sure you present the opportunity to have a conversation to resolve whatever conflict it is that you need to have. So that is my word for today. And so I pray that everybody out there understands that sometimes resolutions, your efforts to resolve things does lead to more conflict. But when you reevaluate the situation, you realize it's because you didn't come in with the right intent to remain humble and to allow God to really show you your faults in it. And even if you don't have any faults, but be so humble enough to say, I'm sorry, forgive me for what I did, even though you didn't do anything. And I'm telling you, that frees you. It frees your mind, it frees your soul, it frees your spirit. And I'm telling you, you're able to move on and be the best you that God has created. All right, guys. So you guys have a fantastic day. Word from today, Latavian Gardner.